Tesla's lineup might be sexy, but is your EV making you beta?
On those invisible fields of energy that surround us, how dangerous are they?
Smartphones should never be within an inch of the box.
Sleeping problems,
sperm quality,
childhood cancer.
So today we are gonna put it to the test. It's going crazy. Whoa.
That is extreme.
We're gonna be looking at some of the most popular EVs out there and find out which one has the highest levels of radiation and compare that to other household electronics. This is an EMF detector. You may have seen them on shows like Ghost Hunters.
Dude, again, look. Holy dude, look.
But it can also measure harmful radiation in our environment. Electromagnetic fields are really everywhere. The emissions are created whenever electrical power flows through a wire. This is nothing new, but there is some controversy and even some scientific evidence that's linked to cancer, miscarriages, and even low testosterone. There are two comments that we see most. One is that Tesla men are all beta, and the other one is about EMF, and we see that a lot. Like a lot. And since so many of you guys said that I'm cooking myself in a microwave, I figured why not just go ahead and start out right here. So first off, a little bit about how this works. The US government doesn't actually have a specific regulation on how much radiation is allowed. It's measured in milligauss, not millighost. Around yellow and below is good. So if we see anything in the orange or the red, that's bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on right now. Give it a second to kind of figure this thing out. It's green, that's good. Here is my food I'm about to have for lunch. It's leftovers. Let's see. Wow. All right, I want to point it at it and you can see it's green right now. Here is the microwave. Let's go ahead and see what happens. No radiation. Let's give it 2 minutes, see what happens here. Right away, look at that. So again, anything above yellow, the orange and the red is where we don't want to be. So how far out does this go? All right, so I'm about like 6 feet away right now, and you can see most of the radiation danger has gone down to the safe zone, but that's kind of alarming because my kids are cooking food and using the microwave all the time. It's right at my daughter's, head level. And I remember as a kid, my parents used to say, don't get too close to the microwave, and now I see why. Surprisingly, most household appliances seem to emit normal or very low levels of radiation, while the biggest emitters were, no surprise, the microwave, the cell phone, wireless router, and more surprising maybe were both the Alexa and Kindle. Alexa, how much radiation do you put off?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
What? Yeah, she's not gonna tell you the truth. That was surprising. Imagine this right next to my head though, like right next to my ear. It's definitely going into the red zone.
Yeah.
Turns out there's a lot of unknowns in this area. The World Health Organization classifies electromagnetic fields produced by mobile phones as possibly carcinogenic. And for years, companies like Apple have played it safe with fine prints that suggest keeping your phone at least 10 millimeters from your body at all times. Truth is, we don't know much about the long-term effects of low radiation exposure on our bodies. But how about those iPads on wheels and electric cars that we drive around in every day? It makes you think twice about charging your phone next to your bed at night. I definitely am gonna stop doing that. Has our router giving off some vibes, and it goes down into the safe zone. What happens when you play your game down here?
Ooh, it's getting to orange.
Slightly. I gotta test this out in bed. My phone charging right here next to my head. Not too bad. It seems to really be worse when it's only on a call. Look at that. Not too bad at all. All right, now let's test these out. What about my Kindle? That is surprising. Now I am curious to go out there with my EMF reader, test out our cars, EVs, and even gas cars to see what levels of radiation we are getting while we're driving. Before we go out to the car, I'm gonna freshen up a little bit. Oh, I just love this scent. It takes me back to my childhood when I was a kid. I just love how scents can do that. I've been trying to find a personal fragrance lately, and I have 4 that I'm trying out right now from Scentbird. I love that they send a 30-day supply, and it's only around $17 a month, and I have the flexibility to change them out and try something new whenever I want. So this month I'm trying out Marc Jacobs Daisy, House of Beau Bonbon, Amazon Rainforest, and Versace Bright Crystals. And I love that they have both designer fragrances as well as more niche labels of cologne and perfume. They come in these great little magnetic travel cases that lock, and they're easy to take with you on the go. And you can see on the inside that they really give you a lot of fragrance inside. So this one smells like strawberries and white violets. It's just heavenly. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code KIMJAVA and you can get it for 55% off. That's only $8 and it's so easy. All you have to do is scan my barcode. All right, let's go finish up the testing. PJ, come here. You got the reader?
Let's do it.
All right, so are you worried about your testosterone levels?
I think I'm doing fine in that department, but we can run.
We have 3 kids, I guess we're doing okay.
Just so you know, Kim, not all radiation is created equal. There's ionizing radiation. Those are high frequency ones that are found from rays from the sun, from X-rays. That can cause damage to your DNA and cells, but there's also low frequency radiation found in electrical wires, power lines. That's non-ionizing. Those don't cause as much damage. The thing is, we're talking about EVs, massive battery packs, a lot of electronic components to it as well, and giant motors. How does that all play out? We're in between about 200 kilowatt hours of battery packs in our garage here. Generally in the safe zone, pops up a little bit every so often, but we've read that that's not a reliable measurement if it's just kind of a one-off thing. It's got to consistently stay there. So door opens up, you see levels increasing a little bit. Inside the cabin, on the normal zone, I wonder if that door opening up had to do with the electronic motorized action of this door. A lot of spikes down here, but again, nothing that stays down underneath the battery pack. Once again, green, maybe a couple hints of yellow, and consistently staying in that normal zone. Open up the wings. It definitely seems like it spikes briefly as the motorized doors go into action. Everything that I'm seeing is once again in the normal safe zone of green.
I feel like you need to get in there a little bit more because there's a couple areas I do want to test out. Like the screen back here, like right now it's off, but like what about when we actually go to watch something? Of course, you can tell what the kids have been watching back here. Mr. Beast, Fortnite, really nothing. Nothing significant. As you go down, it seems to be like a little more activity, but nothing significant. Kind of like a game of hot and cold, right? We're like, oh, okay. It's going crazy.
What's going on?
Look, come over here. You got to see this. It's going nuts.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That is extreme.
That is crazy.
And it's consistently staying there.
This is where you would hold up your key card, and it also has the reader for your phone.
Yeah.
It's right in here.
That's the NFC, the near field communication. The key card all connects to the car. Yeah, there's something there for sure.
There's definitely something there. Wow. That wasn't on the other side. It's just the driver's side. Everything else is like pretty good. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
I mean, that's just like the microwave when you're cooking food.
Yeah. That's definitely not good. Now, when I go inside, right here actually is not great. And as I get closer, now this is where my head is. What's the level right now? I can't see it.
It's generally green with a few spikes into the red and orange. Yellow, green, green.
And we're inside the Model X right now. Now, this is the charging pad. I expected this, because I felt like the charging pad, that made sense, especially what we've seen with your cell phone. And I'm sure if I throw my phone on here, it'll be consistently red. The screen itself though, pretty low. Turn on the steering wheel here and our seat warmers and see if that has any difference. I don't really notice anything. Nothing. What about my seat? Sorry.
Too much fun there.
Nothing on the seat. Nothing where like
your reproductive
organs are. There is like really nothing down here. The main area that surprised me is right here. That's really it.
Look at that.
But where my head is, what's going on?
It's back to low right now.
It's back to low.
But it seems like depending on how close you get to the side is where the spike happens. Yeah.
So this is our Tesla charging station. It is kind of almost in the orange at times, not even being plugged in. Let's see what happens when it's actually in use over here. Anything right now. So look at this, it's green, green. Here we go. Not a lot, honestly. Like I'm not really getting very
you got
much.
some.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, it's just going right now.
Okay. So once the juice really starts flowing, it does get up there into the red. Let's see if we notice anything down. Ooh. Well, I guess that's the cable.
Yeah.
The cable, definitely. As soon as you get like a foot away or even a little bit less, it goes back down to green. So it's just like, don't put your head or anything right next to the cable. Let's see about the battery pack. It's pretty low. And again, remember, anything under yellow is generally considered safe. We really don't want to see the orange or the red. Let's go back inside really quick while it's charging and see if there's any different. We know that this is not a great area right here. Honestly, like right where I am is starting to get up there while the car is charging. Now this is kind of interesting. When I played the footage back, I realized that the EMF reader may have also been picking up the signal from my microphone. However, it needs to be pretty close to my microphone in order for it to pick up the signal. So when I hold it out here, most likely it was the car. So we are charging. Let's go where the kids sit. At least back here, it seems to be consistently staying below yellow. There it kind of gets to yellow a little bit. But pretty low levels while charging back here. And then third row, kind of slightly higher, but negligible, I would say.
Let's do the Model 3. Come on over. Oh my gosh, look at this. The car's not even on. The door is unlocked, but the screen inside is off. I mean, it just sits right there at an extreme level, right at the near field communication where the key card reader would be. Inside the cabin, the little spikes that come and go, but generally seems to be low.
And this is a 2018 Model 3, so.
Yes, this is the first gen. Consistently on the low or on the safe side. Here, aftermarket wireless charger. You can see it goes through the roof. Doesn't stay as high as it did there on the door pillar. Down here in this corner, this is another charging pad, but it's actually not active right now. I know I've unplugged it. So nothing there. Center screen, again, green to some yellow. That's on the normal side. Heated seats. Nothing.
What about that pelvic region?
The pelvic.
The testosterone. Anything in there?
You tell me, Kim.
I don't really see anything. I think we're good.
I set myself up. We're pretty good here.
Battery pack?
Nothing. Green, a hint of yellow, staying at yellow, which is kind of on the higher end of the safe zone, but still in the safe zone.
Charger?
Yeah, it's nothing on the charge port really. Plugging it in is where I expect it to spike. Yeah, the charger, as it ramps up, you can see kind of it go and then just stay locked in on the highest level. That seems to be the case on the wand. Along the entirety of the cable, it stays on the high end. But honestly, within just a foot away from that cable, the levels drop.
Do you want to go inside?
Yep. Back on this pillar where it's just always high levels. Not really as bad as...
Not as bad as the Model X?
Not as bad as the Model X. That is so interesting to see the variability. And the Model X is the 2022 model. This is a 2018 model. Yeah, nothing on the battery while it's charging. It's low on this side too.
What about the second row?
Normal levels, low levels. Nothing at all.
One thing that does kind of concern me is that while charging the cars, it seems to be emitting the most radiation, and right above us is our daughter's room. So I want to go up there and test the levels in her room.
Let's do it. We've got both cars charging.
Yeah, we have both cars charging right now in our house. Let's go upstairs and see what levels we get.
Look at this. The irony is the wireless mic sitting on our heart is definitely too high to be considered safe.
I guess we're going to be Iron Man here pretty soon. Yeah. Going into my daughter's room, we are directly above where both of our Teslas are charging right now. At times it does go slightly to the yellow. Now this is the side the Model X is like directly underneath us right now, and the charger is directly underneath us.
It's probably getting more of a signal from your microphone, honestly.
That's true. It looks like anywhere she would be is really low levels. Interesting enough, this is her baby monitor. Okay, that's good. Doesn't look like that's something that we need to worry about And that's pretty good considering that we have 2 electric cars right now. They're charging directly below us and we're staying in the safe zone, I'll put it that way. Let's take it for a spin, but first, you gotta get this car out of this tight garage.
So usually what I do is summon the car out because it is pretty tight. This is something I do every single day. The only thing that I consistently use on my Tesla app.
And look at your phone.
I know.
And your phone is definitely puts off more than the car. Why is it getting up?
That's what she said. I'm having way too much fun shooting this video. Take this car for a quick spin, see how levels are played out at speed. Yeah, it doesn't really change much, a little bit here and there, but keep in mind, what I've noticed is there's these little transformer boxes outside every other home.
And of course it's trash day, so that's always helpful.
So these levels, when you're on the move, especially if you're in a congested area, are impacted by the environment. So that's something to consider. But if it's consistently going green, 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 some yellow, it's probably going to remain low.
Power lines here are underground in our neighborhood. Oh, it just definitely is going crazy over here. That's interesting. Go around here one more time. Let's go around this park one more time. Because it's definitely getting higher, way higher levels over here. Now I just said everything's underground. I wonder what's going on.
This is a park
under
where
this
the kids
park.
Spend a lot of time. Yeah.
That's interesting. Did not expect that.
So yeah, right up here at the entrance to the park.
Right at the splash pad where the kids play.
Yeah, I don't know if that's related to the car. It seems like that's related. Look, the second loop in the same area doesn't seem to generate equally high levels. Oh, there it comes.
There it goes, right there.
Yep, there's something here.
All right, so you ordered these EMF detectors. Why did you pick these specific ones?
These had really good reviews, and from what I saw with other tests that have been conducted with people looking to find radiation levels, this had the right frequency that for the radiation levels that we're seeking, the ones that impact us.
And we will go ahead and link these in the description down below. So if you wanted to run a similar test, you can definitely do that. And then leave your results in the comments down below. I'd love to get this conversation going more. If you guys noticed something different, let us know.
So from what I can tell, this car is not emitting a significant amount of radiation beyond what's considered safe or normal. It really seems to be specific to certain parts of the road, power lines or such that you're driving past that send those levels up.
All right, let's get into the Model X and test it out. I'm kind of nervous for this one. Let's do this now in the Model X and see what happens when we drive it. Okay. Oh, this tight garage.
Levels are still spiking in the red far more often than the Model 3. The X is an emitter.
It really is, but only in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. We're constantly hitting the reds.
But we also, once again, just drove by that box over there.
Yep, the transformer boxes.
So we're gonna have to go put this on the transformer box and see what's going on with that. All right, there's transformer boxes between every house, and I feel like every time we go past one of these boxes, it peaks. What about over by my head?
No, it's pretty green.
My belly? Like if I had a baby in there? Okay.
And then around the park.
All right, so this is with the Model 3 where we saw the most action. So was it the Model 3 or the park?
No, it's definitely the park.
It's definitely the park. It's like the exact same area.
Right,
So test your side right now.
See. Pretty low on the battery pack. Back seat, do you like the yogurt smear over there?
Oh,
back seat, minimal. A little bit of spike again back around your head. But
so the driver's getting fried.
It's definitely not as low as the Model 3.
It seemed like every time we went past one of these, it seemed like it was going up.
I mean, look, it specifically says underground cables located in this area.
So actually, as I go farther to the ground is where you get more radiation. Here's what I have to say after testing our Model 3 and our Model X. I am gonna be the passenger princess after this experience. Now we're gonna go ahead and test this out with a Cybertruck. This thing has one of the beefiest motors, largest battery in it. So walking around it, we can see it's still in the green zone. Let's get down here where the battery pack is. Right now, still in the green, still in the green. Let's go over here. See if there's any changes anywhere. Looks like it's staying in the green. The car is turned on. It's still within normal range. This is right where you would charge it. Right now it's not charging, but it seems to be a little bit of activity maybe right around here. Going around it. Looks like it's pretty much green everywhere. Let's go inside. Within the cabin, it's getting pretty low levels up to kind of a moderate yellow zone. But as I move over here towards the charging pad, you can see that it definitely starts peaking on the charging pad. And then look what happens when I go ahead and try to charge my phone. I'll put my phone there. It's charging, and it really is getting up there when I'm charging it. Put on the heated steering wheel. Still staying pretty green. Doesn't seem to have a big effect on it at all. Right here, the UI, pretty low levels. Pretty low levels right here. Camera housings up here. It definitely seems to be getting a little bit, and again, we're right in front of a big building right here, so it could be getting something off of that building as well. Gotta get down low right now, and where the battery pack is on the floor, pretty low levels over here, honestly. The batteries underneath here kind of gets a little bit higher over there on the passenger side and in the center. But overall, it's pretty low to moderate, I would say, on the ground. So the highest areas so far when you're just sitting here is definitely where your phone is charging. Right where my head is in the green. All right, now I'm curious if we take this thing out for a drive, if it changes anything. I'm gonna just hold it right here and drive around the parking lot a little bit. So far, still pretty low. Right now, over here it's green. Let's see, we're going under the power lines.
Yeah, it's super high.
Super high, that definitely makes a difference. Interesting to see the Cybertruck measure extremely low levels of radiation at highway speeds. This is a pretty good indication that a lot of the radiation being measured is likely from external sources outside the common areas like the door pillar and wireless charging pad. But how about when you're supercharging? Green, green. Everywhere on here right now is green. That's kind of cool. Cybertruck is charging right now. Check this out. It's in the green. It's in the green. No radiation inside of the Tesla at all while it's charging on the outside. Inside, it's green. But you know what does have radiation? Your cell phone. And it's gone up to the yellow zone right here. Kind of trying to go up into orange, but not completely. We're in the green. Again, the areas we already know are peaking. Right here, no difference. My head, green. Not really a lot of change with charging it, which is pretty cool. Let's go down to the battery, down on the floor. Green over here. Green. Green. Everywhere on the inside of the car, for the most part, is green. So that's really reassuring to know that we are in the safe zone right now. Let's go on the outside though and look at the battery underneath the car while it's charging and see if there's any changes out there. Pretty good. So look at the back seat right here. Now the owner of it is doing truck things with it, so it's pretty full back here, but you can see it's green. If you have your kids back here, you can feel pretty good about that. Driving past power lines, you can clearly see how nearby exposure to higher frequency can spike readings. And this really hits home that EVs do not emit any significant radiation while in use. And in the case of the Cybertruck, even while charging. But how about the world's most popular EV, the Model Y, and even a gas car? This is my neighbor's Model Y. Let's take a look at it. Right now, it's not charging, but the car is on. Much like other Teslas, the Model Y was also in the safe zone with very low and normal levels of radiation, with usual higher level areas like the charging pad and charger itself measuring high. And similar to the Model X, while the vehicle was charging, the front seats measured above the safe zone. You can definitely see this a little bit higher inside of the Model Y while it's charging. It's all the way up here in the orange. Could this have also been from my microphone though? Otherwise, the battery pack and the back seats were on the low side. And while in motion, levels remained in the safe zone with the usual sporadic spikes when passing transformer boxes. But what about a gas car? We are inside of an Audi, pretty much in the green. Let's go ahead and turn it on. It is going up to the yellow, maybe even the orange at times. Pretty close, except for I will say the charging pad in the Tesla seems to have more. This car though does not have a charging pad in it, so that's probably one of the reasons why we don't see that big spike. You can see the electronics definitely are causing it to kind of go up to the orange. It's been a while since I drove something like, whoa. I am such a Tesla driver. I did the windshield wiper and it rolls. Okay, there really wasn't a huge difference between the gas car and our Tesla. There were a few spikes in some areas around the transformer boxes, but for the most part, it was in the safe zone. So after running this unofficial test to kind of get a general idea of the different radiation levels in various Teslas, I believe that there's no truth to the notion that your EV is frying you or your Tesla is making you beta. Some of the Teslas did have higher levels while charging, but none had high levels while driving. Also, the area with the key card reader, the NFC, did have high levels, but inside of the car where you're driving, it wasn't detectable. If anything, I would guess that external sources seem to be a bigger deal. The stories that claim that EVs are making people sick probably have nothing to do with the EVs themselves and more to do with something else going on. I find it ironic that we know that gas car fumes are lethal. We don't deny it, we just ignore it. But with EVs, people find any way possible to pin them as being less safe. Even though they're 61 times less likely to catch on fire, they're 3 times cleaner to operate, even if they're being powered by coal, and they're the cheapest car to operate too. Of course, there's radiation everywhere. It's a matter of how strong and how frequent the exposure is. For example, according to the CDC, there's a small amount of cosmic radiation when you fly across country on an airplane, but it amounts to less than a single chest x-ray. Thanks again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Use the code KIMJAVA to get 55% off your first order, or just scan this QR code and let me know which vehicle you want me to test my EMF reader in next. Thanks for watching. Is that too raunchy?
I don't know what you did.
If I'm like, we gotta test this out in bed.
Deleted scenes, bloopers.
You know what else this measures?
What?
Ghosts. Do you want to see if we have any ghosts in our house? Oh, Liam, this behind this door,
Yeah.
there could be a ghost, or a really messy closet that also.
Man, look at this neighbor. Look at these neighbors. Got some
We're
smart
not the
people
only
here.
ones. They say they're not like us, but they are like us. Hey, I'm the one that drives that X usually. I gotta protect my brain. I don't want to say you don't want the aliens reading your mind, but you know what? I'm gonna protect my brain from radiation. Does this actually work?
I don't know.
How do I look?